Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to look ahead and to the future and take a look at some of the drivers and challenges that come with this worldwide food revolution. Our next guest is the Executive Director and Board Member at EFCO, the largest food producer over in Russia. He has been in the food industry since 1997 and is the Impact Officer of YPO Russia. He's also a member of the Imagine Initiative, Oxford, for Global Food Security. And he's here with us today. Please do join me in welcoming Sergey Ivanov.
Good morning. Many thanks to organizers for this incredible event. I'm really excited about the program. It's important and very timely. Our company is one of the largest food producers in Eastern Europe. We produce more than 2 million tons of food a year. We work in 50 countries. We feed 200 million people. In my presentation, I want to share the views of our company's board of directors on the future. And how do we analyze the developmental trends? Technology always is the result of some humanitarian idea and socio-cultural aspects. Therefore, before talking about technologies, let's take a quick look at socio-cultural trends. In what system we are doing business today? This socio-economic model, capitalism, is about 400 years old. The main driver is competition. The main rule: everything that is not prohibited is permitted. In this model, the strong has the right to destroy the weak. It's a very tough world. How do we, as a business, choose the technologies to make money and set the prices for our products or level of profitability? We may have two different sources of motivation. The first one, values. I'm making money by doing good for others. And the second one is passion, greed. I want more. And humanity had a choice, the first one, to describe values and to create ethics of choosing technologies and setting the price, or to trust the market, and competition will self-regulate everything. So people have chosen the simple option to trust the market. I want to say that the philosophy of competition as a social institution is a voluntary acceptance by society that greed is the engine of progress. And the result, the trend towards consolidation of business and emerging of wide variety of transnational companies in different industries, and then specialization of labor as a primary driver of economic efficiency. Consequently, a person working on a junior or mid-level position in such companies doesn't have to possess holistic competences. No supply, no demand. As a result, huge problem with global education. So business gets bigger and people get smaller. As a result, with the increasing complexity of technology, it is increasingly difficult for a modern person to understand what is useful and what is dangerous for the health. As modern biotech engages in human physiology, we need to agree on a particular red lines before we move on to technology. We need a code of ethics for biotechnologies. But before talking about ethics, we have to answer the question, how do we see men? There are two opposite points of view. The first one, man is perfect by nature, and the meaning of life is to reveal the potential inherent to him, the view of traditional religions. The second point, man is imperfect by nature, and therefore he needs to be improved, upgraded, strengthened, the view of transhumanism and postmodernity. The technology in the first case is something that helped to realize that potential. And in the second case, the technology is something that will make men better, upgraded various firmware, chips for brain, cyborgization. So without clarifying these issues, we shall create distrust and fear of the new, especially in food innovation. How do we as a business prepare ourselves for the lack of qualified staff? automation, digitalization, robotic application, artificial intelligence. So people understand that opportunity to work in the future will be the privilege. At the same time, look at the science of the modern times. Basic income, metaverses, gaming industry, legalization of soft drugs, liberalization of gender agenda. So a simple person would say, it looks like I'm being prepared to be transferred to the state of a vegetable, ideal consumer. I'm not needed here. What is a natural reaction to these trends? Even greater distrust of everything new in technology. So I want to say that transparency of motives is one of the key consumer requests amongst others. Food today is becoming not only a source of protein, fats, and carbohydrates, but also a humanitarian mission. What problems are we solving? To feed part of population well and to leave the rest to chance, or, and I'm sure we are here to make it reality, to provide all of humanity with tasty, affordable, healthy food produced in harmony with nature. Our company completely changed its strategy 5 years ago. We asked ourselves a simple question: what challenges does food industry faces today? We found 3 of them. The first one is famine. The way food is produced today, 10 billion people can be fed the way it's produced today, the food is produced today. The second one is environment. The way food is produced today is a perfect way to ruin the planet. And the third one is health. Food industry makes too many compromises in terms of chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, growth hormones, antibiotics, etc. So we assumed that if our products and our technologies will meet each of these challenges at the same time, then we will have the future. Then we noticed biotech startup in Y Combinator, which developed fats from microorganisms. And very clearly, we saw the end of our core business. Total disruption from precision fermentation. We said ourselves, if we do food and don't do biotech, sooner or later, biotech will start doing us and our food. We've tripled investment to science and innovation. We've built our own scientific campus. That's not a picture from internet. It's our R&D center. We've got 100 researchers there, 12 laboratories. We are cooperating with 20 partner institutes around the world. And our scientists helped us to rethink the challenges and technological trends. We can see 3 fundamental processes in science during the past 20 years. Human genome sequencing, breakthrough in the study of microbiota, and biotech revolution. Domestication of microorganisms, as Tony Seba from American Rethink X calls it. We identify 3 groups of technological trends: transformation of basic technologies, breakthrough in biotech, development of molecular-based methods. Basic technologies are traditional methods of obtaining the chemical substrate of food in hundreds of million tons. And we divided it into 2 sources of benefits, getting benefits from plants and getting benefits from animals. And plants are the key source of nutrients and food mass. And we see 2 main trends in this subgroup: diversification management, purity and uniformity of molecules. It helps us, it provides us opportunity to produce plant-based alternatives, for example, on a very different level of quality and taste. And the second, universalization management, using the different types of raw materials, for example, soya, nuts, seaweeds, peas, on the same equipment. Seaweeds. This is one of the most promising alternative sources. It has potential to create a commodity mass comparable to plants. Modern industrial livestock farming will face increasing challenges in discreditation and discrimination, with a simultaneous increase in demand at least twice. All this will create demand for technologies that eliminate the use of chemicals and minimize the greenhouse effect. The second group of trends, breakthrough in biotechnology. 20 years ago, 1 million or 1 kilogram of recombinant protein cost $1 million US. It's difficult to imagine. Today, the price is approaching to $10. It cost dropped by 100,000 times. We live right inside biotech revolution. And the fermenter itself has today turned into an industrial bioreactor. We can produce fats and proteins there. We can cultivate meat there and develop biotechnological analog of milk fat. It is unlikely that biotechnology will replace plants or animals as a source of food in the millions of tons, but it's clear that it will play a crucial role in the food of the future. And some countries, for example, here in GCC, will be able to completely solve some of their food security issues. Molecular-based methods. This section of trends deals with cells and directly affects both basic and biotechnologies. For example, in plant science, these are innovations in protein extraction methods and creation of flavors. In the same trend, the development and creating of sweet protein. It's 1,000 times sweeter than sugar, but without any insulin response. But with the most promising and the most inspiring direction of molecular technologies is cellular nutrition, something that transforms our understanding of the very possibilities of influencing the quality of human life. What makes it possible to radically change our understanding of the health, longevity, and quality of life, at least in the last 20, 30 years. We makes it possible, we analyze the source of different protein, fats, carbohydrates. We divide it into 3 groups: doubtfully promising, questionably promising, promising. These slides will be available, but I want to focus your attention on sugar alternatives. Do you know what share of sugar cane and sugar beet is in the total volume of food production in the world? So in the world, we produce 10 billion tons of the food. As a reference, wheat and rice with 700 million tons. Do you have an idea about sugar cane and sugar beet? 2 billion. 2 billion tons, 20%. It's the most favorite food ingredient for the food technologists. One of the most cheapest dry substance. The completely pointless use of the ecosystem. And the perfect example of the product that is not good for the human and very bad for the planet. The question, is it possible to feed 10 billion people? And before answering this question, I suggest to remember how humanity solved this problem in the last century. 70 years ago, there was 2.5 billion people on the planet, and everyone was waiting for famine. The Green Revolution saved humanity from hunger. And its main driver is chemicals, synthesized nitrogen fertilizers, pesticides, industrial veterinary medicine, mechanization, intensive cultivation of new lands, irrigation with powerful pumps. Humanity for the first time reached those waters which never had been accessed, and monoculture of burlock. But there was a very high side effect of this green revolution. 30% of emissions, food system share, 2 billion hectares of destroyed forests, and now we are in the process of deforestation. Lost 30% of fertile arable and arable land. And biodiversity is being destroyed, and a lot of health trade-offs. Even if today we compromise on health and decide to simply feed, then we will have a natural limiting factor, the unit of nature. This is an aggregated indicator of each technology's use of arable land, fresh water, climate resistance, impact on biodiversity, and carbon footprint. At this point, I want to focus your attention. This is a very popular point of view that is enough to achieve carbon neutrality in the food, and all problems will be solved. This is incorrect. Carbon emission is only one of 5 elements that form the cost of unit per nature, the cost per unit of nature. And if we will focus on only one and ignore the rest, we will have the problem. The conference is called Healthy Innovation. Interesting question. What kind of food we can call green, healthy, and sustainable? I believe this food should meet 3 mandatory criteria: being good for the people, being good for the planet, with minimal cost per unit of nature, and being affordable, or at least with potential for mass production in the future. In our company, we made our choice. These criteria have become our investment mandate, and for 5 years we've been reinvesting all we earn into this kind of technologies. Therefore, we developed a plant-based alternative in meat and milk. We are the #1 player in Russia in this segment. We developed sweet protein, fats from macroorganisms, cellular nutrition, and we're investing in solutions for healthy longevity. So, is it possible to feed 10 billion? Yes, it is. But we all need to work hard together, business, scientists, society, and governments, and we need to cooperate, not to compete. I have a personal dream. To be honest, I don't like the future with tablets and gels as a food. And my dream, for example, in 20, 30 years, we will have the same conference, and we will have dinner, closing dinner. And in our table will be very interesting plant-based alternative and other super organic food. And we will be talking. But we will be talking in this dinner not how healthy this food is. It will be very healthy. Not how sustainable it is. It will be very sustainable. But we will be talking about how incredibly delicious this is. Thank you.